Have you ever considered that the very room you retreat to for comfort and safety, your own bedroom, might actually be undermining your well-being? It's a notion that might seem counterintuitive. After all, your bedroom is meant to be your personal sanctuary, the ultimate space for relaxation, rest, and rejuvenation following the demands of the day. Particularly as we navigate our later years, securing quality sleep becomes increasingly vital. It's during these precious hours that our bodies undertake essential repairs, our minds process the day's events, and our energy reserves are replenished. If you find insights like these valuable for living well in your golden years, please consider liking this video or subscribing to Old Age Wisdom for more helpful content. However, there's an important reality we need to confront: elements currently present within your bedroom, items perhaps owned for many years, could be subtly harming your health night after night. The most concerning aspect is that these are often things we wouldn't normally question. We aren't simply discussing an uncomfortable mattress or worn-out sleepwear. Instead, we're highlighting concealed hazards potentially robbing you of restorative sleep, exacerbating allergies, negatively impacting your joints, and even contributing to mental fogginess, all operating below your conscious awareness. Perhaps you're thinking, my bedroom feels perfectly fine. I usually sleep reasonably well. I don't perceive any issue. Honestly, this perspective is common until subtle health problems begin to surface gradually. You might awaken feeling stiff, somewhat lethargic, or maybe experiencing mild congestion. It's easy to attribute these sensations to the natural aging process or even fluctuations in the weather. But what if the root cause lies elsewhere? What if your bedroom environment itself is the contributing factor? You see, beyond the age of 60, our bodies don't bounce back quite as readily as they once did. Our sensitivity to allergens often increases, our joints require more effective support, and our immune systems may not possess their former robustness. Even the quality of the air we inhale throughout the night exerts a more significant influence on our state of being the following morning. Here's a fact that often goes unconsidered. You spend approximately 1/3 of your entire life within that single room. That's correct. Assuming you achieve the recommended 7 to 8 hours of sleep nightly, you're logging over 2,500 hours annually in your bedroom. Just imagine consistently breathing in unseen particulates or sleeping within a space that silently compromises your health, night after night, year upon year. This is precisely why addressing these potential issues is so crucial. The seemingly minor things often disregarded can accumulate over time. For individuals in our age group, addressing these small things could mark the difference between greeting the day feeling energized and prepared, or waking up feeling utterly depleted, as though you've been through a major ordeal. We believe sharing practical wisdom like this is important, so if you agree, take a moment to subscribe to Old Age Wisdom. We'd love to have you as part of our community. Therefore, today, I intend to guide you through some surprising elements potentially lurking in your bedroom right now. Things that are gradually and quietly influencing your health, your sleep quality, and your overall sense of well-being. Once you become aware of what these are, your perception of your bedroom environment may change significantly. Some of these involve common oversights many of us make. Admittedly, I've been culpable of a few myself over the years. But the encouraging news is that they are generally straightforward to rectify. Implementing minor adjustments and simple substitutions could lead to improved sleep, easier breathing, and waking up feeling more like your vibrant self again. By the conclusion of this discussion, you will possess clear, actionable steps to transform your bedroom back into the tranquil, restorative haven it was always intended to be. You certainly deserve that, especially at this stage of life. Sleep ceases to be a mere luxury. It becomes one of your body's most potent forms of natural medicine. So, if you're prepared to enhance your well-being, breathe more freely, and perhaps even rediscover a bit more vitality upon waking, please stay with me. You might find yourself genuinely surprised by what has been inconspicuously present, right under your nose, and potentially beneath your bed as well. Let's explore these issues together. Let's start with old pillows, the silent adversaries you might be sharing your bed with nightly. Allow me to pose a question. How long have you been using your current pillow? Has it been several years, perhaps even longer? It likely feels soft, familiar, almost like a comforting old companion, correct? You plump it up each evening, position it perfectly, and anticipate drifting into slumber. But what if that cherished pillow is actually causing more harm than benefit? You see, most individuals rarely give their pillows a second thought. We focus on mattresses, diligently change our bed linens, but the pillow often remains, sometimes for an extended period. And that persistence is precisely where the problem originates. Here's the rather unpleasant truth. If your pillow is over 2 years old, it has probably transformed into a thriving habitat for dust mites, bacteria, accumulated sweat, and potentially even mold. And every single night, you are pressing your face against this surface, inhaling these elements for hours on end. Now, I realize that might sound somewhat alarming, but consider this. Have you ever woken up feeling stuffy or congested, as if your nasal passages simply refuse to clear? Do you occasionally experience a scratchy sensation in your throat upon waking, or find yourself already feeling fatigued even after what seemed like a sufficient night's rest? You might have attributed these symptoms to seasonal changes or simply accepted them as part of getting older. However, the reality could be that your pillow is the culprit. Dust mites, microscopic creatures, flourish in warm, humid environments, and pillows are prime real estate for them. They subsist on the minuscule skin cells we naturally shed during sleep. It isn't merely the mites themselves, it's their waste products that commonly trigger allergic reactions. Yes, that persistent sneezing, those watery eyes, sinus pressure headaches, and that general foggy-headed feeling in the morning, all could potentially stem from your pillow working against your well-being. And let's briefly touch upon your skin. We are all aware of the challenges in maintaining healthy skin as we age: increased thinness, dryness, and susceptibility to irritation. Now, picture this. Every night, your pillow absorbs oils, perspiration, dead skin cells, and even residues from lotions or hair products. Over time, it accumulates into an unsanitary surface, and each night, you place your face directly back onto it. If you've observed recent breakouts, redness, or unexplained skin irritation, the issue might not lie with your skincare regimen, but rather with your pillow acting as an irritant. Furthermore, here's an aspect that particularly concerns me, especially for those residing in humid climates or who tend to perspire during sleep. Mold can begin to proliferate inside your pillow. You likely won't visually detect it or perceive an odor, but you will inhale the spores night after night. Breathing in mold spores consistently in this manner has been associated with a range of issues, from cognitive difficulties, brain fog, and persistent fatigue to more significant respiratory conditions over the long term. Fortunately, the remedy for this situation is quite simple, although many of us neglect to implement it. If your pillow has surpassed the 2-year mark, it's genuinely time to replace it. I understand it can be difficult to part with something familiar, feeling like an integral part of your bedtime ritual. But believe me, compromising your health is not a worthwhile trade-off. When selecting a new pillow, prioritize hypoallergenic materials specifically designed to resist dust mites, bacteria, and mold growth. Options like memory foam, latex, or high-quality down alternatives can provide excellent support and hygiene. Just ensure the materials are chosen with health considerations in mind. And here's an additional valuable tip. Invest in a proper pillow protector, not merely a pillowcase. A true protective cover that fully encases the pillow with a zipper closure effectively prevents dust, sweat, and allergens from penetrating the pillow itself. Launder both your pillowcase and the protector at least weekly using hot water. This straightforward habit can significantly improve the situation. Remember, your pillow's function is to provide support, cradle your neck, and facilitate deep sleep, not to secretly undermine your health. The essential point is this. If you consistently wake up feeling worse than when you retired for the night, the cause might not solely be your age. It could very well be what's positioned directly beneath your nose, quite literally. So, tonight, before you settle into bed, examine your pillow critically. Has it lost its shape and become flattened? Does it possess a slightly musty or unusual odor? If you fold it in half, does it remain folded instead of springing back? These are clear indicators that a replacement is due. It's a minor adjustment, yet one that holds the potential to help you sleep more soundly, breathe more easily, and awaken feeling rested rather than run down. Considering you spend nearly 2,500 hours annually with your head resting on that pillow, don't allow it to be the underlying reason for your morning exhaustion. Trust me on this. Your future, more rested self will express gratitude. Now, let's address something most people seldom consider. What exactly is concealed beneath your bed at this very moment? Are there old storage containers, piles of magazines, perhaps even items you've long forgotten about residing down there? And truly, I understand the logic. The space under the bed often appears to be an ideal storage location. It's concealed, keeping things out of the immediate line of sight and preventing tripping hazards, while helping maintain a tidier appearance in the rest of the room. However, herein lies the issue. Merely because these items are unseen doesn't render them innocuous. In reality, the accumulation of belongings under your bed could be quietly disrupting your sleep quality and negatively affecting your health every single night. Reflect for a moment. When was the last occasion you thoroughly cleaned that underbed area? For the majority of us, it's likely been quite some time. And that neglect is precisely why dust, bacteria, and potentially even mold find it such an inviting environment. It's dark, undisturbed, and constitutes the perfect breeding ground for everything you definitely do not want circulating near your respiratory system. And consider what occurs when you lie down to sleep each night. Your body enters a relaxed state. Your breathing naturally deepens, and consequently, everything trapped in the space beneath your bed, dust mites, mold spores, stale air, begins to circulate upwards, and you end up inhaling it hour after hour. Have you ever woken up feeling persistently stuffy or congested, as though your allergies seem particularly aggravated in the morning hours? You might readily attribute it to pollen counts or prevailing weather conditions, but the genuine source of the problem could be situated directly beneath you. Those ubiquitous dust mites thrive on the dead skin cells shed during sleep, and their waste products are recognized as significant triggers for allergies. A runny nose, a dry or scratchy throat, frequent sneezing. These symptoms might not indicate a common cold, but could instead be a reaction to cluttered, dusty air originating from under your bed. However, the impact extends beyond just dust and allergens. There's another factor involved here: your mental energy. Even during sleep, your subconscious mind registers the presence of clutter. It perceives that disorganized, crowded space, even if you aren't consciously aware of it. This subconscious perception can contribute to feelings of restlessness or unease, preventing you from achieving truly deep, restorative sleep, leaving you feeling as if you haven't genuinely rested at all. Have you ever entered a cluttered room and immediately felt a sense of being overwhelmed, perhaps even slightly stressed? A similar effect can manifest while you are asleep. Although unseen, your body senses the disarray, hindering its ability to reach the profound state of rest it urgently requires. And here's one more often overlooked aspect: clutter obstructs airflow. Your bedroom requires adequate air circulation to maintain freshness and cleanliness. However, when the area beneath your bed is densely packed with storage bins, old garments, or miscellaneous items, airflow becomes restricted and stagnant. Instead of inhaling fresh, clean air, you end up breathing musty, recycled air throughout the night. This factor alone can contribute significantly to waking up feeling groggy and unrest, regardless of the number of hours you actually slept. So what steps can you take? Firstly, take a moment to actually look under your bed. Go ahead, investigate what's accumulated there. If it's crammed from end to end, it's definitely time to make a change. Begin by clearing everything out. Donate items you no longer need, discard any rubbish, and perform a thorough vacuuming to eliminate the dust and debris that have inevitably gathered over time. If storage under the bed is absolutely necessary, utilize clean, airtight containers rather than open boxes or bags that readily collect dust. Ideally, the space beneath your bed should remain clear and unobstructed. If you must use it for storage, keep the items limited, clean, and well organized. And here's a challenge I encourage you to try. Just for one night, sleep in your bedroom after you have completely cleared and cleaned the area under your bed. Perhaps open a window slightly to allow some fresh air to circulate. Pay attention to how you feel the following morning. You might experience a surprising difference, perhaps waking up feeling lighter, more invigorated, and clearer-headed than you have in weeks. Because sometimes, the issue isn't related to your age or your mattress. It's the hidden clutter subtly draining your energy. Remember, your bedroom should function as your personal sanctuary, not merely a supplementary storage area. The clearer the physical space surrounding you, the calmer your mind tends to be, and the more effectively your body can rest. It's a relatively small change that can yield a significant positive difference. And the most empowering aspect is that it's entirely within your control to implement. Now, this next topic might catch some of you by surprise, because who doesn't appreciate a bedroom that carries a pleasant, clean aroma? There's an undeniable comfort associated with entering a room fragrant with scents like fresh linen, calming lavender, or warm vanilla. It evokes feelings of coziness, safety, and homeliness. But here's the aspect rarely discussed. Those delightful fragrances might be secretly compromising your health. And the most concerning part is that you're inhaling these substances every single night while you sleep. You see, the majority of those convenient plug-in air fresheners, aerosol-scented sprays, and even certain types of candles are not as benign as they appear. While they certainly smell appealing, many are laden with potentially toxic chemicals, including substances known as volatile organic compounds, or VOCs for short. Now, the term VOCs might sound innocuous, perhaps just technical jargon, right? But here's the crucial information you need. VOCs are known irritants to the respiratory system, can aggravate sinus passages, and possess the potential to disrupt hormonal balance over prolonged exposure. This implies that those seemingly fresh scents could be contributing factors to a range of issues, including headaches, scratchy throats, persistent sinus problems, and feelings of grogginess, mental fog, or even profound exhaustion upon waking. And if you already contend with conditions like asthma, allergies, or other breathing difficulties, these chemicals could potentially exacerbate your symptoms further. What truly astonished me when I began researching this topic is that the problem doesn't simply cease when the noticeable scent dissipates. These chemical compounds don't just vanish into the air. They can settle onto your pillows, blankets, carpets, and even adhere to the walls of your room. Consequently, you continue to inhale them long after you've stopped actively perceiving the fragrance, night after night, week after week. This kind of consistent, low-level exposure can accumulate its effects, particularly as we grow older and our body's recovery mechanisms may not be as efficient as they once were. So, if you've ever woken up experiencing a headache, a sore or scratchy throat, or simply feeling generally unwell or off, it might not be attributable solely to your age or the prevailing weather. It could potentially be related to that vanilla-scented candle burning in the corner or the plug-in air freshener that has been operating continuously for months. Now, please don't misunderstand my intention. I'm not suggesting that your bedroom shouldn't have a pleasant ambience. We all naturally enjoy residing in a fresh, inviting space. However, there are significantly better, healthier methods to achieve this goal, methods that won't potentially jeopardize your respiratory health or overall well-being. Firstly, consider phasing out chemical-based air fresheners and synthetically scented candles. Examine product labels carefully. If you encounter terms like fragrance or parfum without a comprehensive list of ingredients, it's often a sign to be cautious. Instead, transition towards natural alternatives. Try utilizing a high-quality essential oil diffuser with pure essential oils like lavender, eucalyptus, or peppermint. Not only do these offer wonderful natural scents, but many also possess inherent calming or clarifying properties that might actually aid in promoting better sleep. If you enjoy burning candles, opt for those made from natural beeswax or soy wax, scented exclusively with essential oils. These tend to burn more cleanly, without releasing hidden toxins. But here's my personal favorite suggestion, and it's one that is frequently overlooked. Introduce a few air-purifying houseplants into your bedroom environment. Plants such as aloe vera, snake plants, sansevieria, or peace lilies not only enhance the aesthetic appeal of your space, but also actively function to clean the air while you sleep. These remarkable natural organisms absorb airborne toxins and release fresh oxygen, contributing to cleaner, healthier air throughout the night. It's akin to having miniature, silent air purifiers operating continuously while you rest. The fundamental principle here is this: your bedroom should serve as a place of healing and restoration, not one containing hidden health hazards. Breathing clean, unadulterated air during sleep isn't merely a luxury. It represents one of the most beneficial actions you can take for your overall health, your respiratory system, and your energy levels. So, tonight, take a moment to assess your bedroom environment. What substances are truly present in the air you're inhaling for approximately 8 hours straight? If it's saturated with synthetic chemicals and artificial fragrances, it's undoubtedly time to make a positive change. Implement the switch, clear the air, and observe how much better you might feel within just 1 week. You could be genuinely astonished by the improvement in your sleep depth, the refreshed feeling upon waking, and the enhanced clarity of your mind. Believe me, your body will be grateful for the adjustment. Let me pose this question. Have you ever experienced waking up after what felt like a full night's sleep, yet instead of feeling refreshed and restored, you simply felt out of sorts, groggy, sluggish, almost as if you could easily retreat back under the covers and sleep for several more hours? It's common to attribute this feeling to a subpar mattress, or perhaps assume you didn't sleep as soundly as you believed. But what if the actual culprit contributing to this morning lethargy was, surprisingly, your curtains? I recognize this might sound peculiar. After all, many of us have been conditioned to believe that blackout curtains are the ultimate solution for optimal sleep. They effectively maintain a dark room, blocking out intrusive streetlights and creating that perfect, cozy, cave-like atmosphere conducive to drifting off peacefully. And undeniably, blackout curtains can indeed facilitate falling asleep more quickly. However, the aspect often left unmentioned is that these same curtains might also be inadvertently perpetuating feelings of tiredness, grogginess, and sluggishness long after the sun has actually risen. Here's the reasoning behind this phenomenon. Your body possesses an innate biological clock designed to synchronize with the natural cycle of sunlight. When morning light begins to filter into your room, it transmits a potent signal to your brain, indicating that it's time to awaken and initiate the day's activities. This natural light exposure prompts your body to decrease the production of melatonin, the hormone responsible for inducing sleepiness, and simultaneously begin producing serotonin, a neurotransmitter associated with boosting mood, energy levels, and mental focus. However, when your bedroom remains completely dark due to thick, heavy curtains, your brain fails to receive this crucial wake-up cue. Consequently, your body persists in a sleep-oriented mode for a longer duration than is biologically appropriate. This discrepancy is why it's possible to sleep for 8 or even 9 hours, yet still awaken feeling as though you've barely rested at all. And the impact doesn't end there. Heavy curtains not only obstruct light, but can also trap stale air within the room. Without adequate airflow and ventilation, your bedroom environment can become stuffy and stagnant. The air quality diminishes, potentially becoming heavy, humid, and laden with dust particles. This is precisely the air you end up breathing throughout the night. As we age, our sensitivity to suboptimal air quality often increases. This heightened sensitivity might explain why you sometimes wake up experiencing a dry throat, nasal congestion, or simply feeling drained, even if you seemingly slept uninterruptedly through the night. Furthermore, there's another factor rarely discussed. Perpetually keeping your bedroom dark can actually have a negative impact on your mood. Exposure to natural light is one of the most effective natural tools available for enhancing energy levels, elevating spirits, and mitigating feelings of depression, particularly as we get older. Sunlight exposure triggers the release of serotonin, the feel-good hormone that contributes to feelings of alertness, motivation, and overall happiness. However, if your bedroom remains shrouded in darkness throughout the day, your body misses out on this vital biochemical boost. Gradually, without necessarily realizing the connection, you might begin to feel more sluggish, less motivated, or even experience a subtle decline in your overall mood. So what is the practical solution? It primarily involves finding a balance. You don't necessarily need to discard your blackout curtains entirely, but it's important to be mindful of how and when you utilize them. During the nighttime hours, certainly, draw them close to block out light and facilitate restful sleep. However, upon waking in the morning, make it a priority to open them wide. Allow that natural sunlight to flood into the room. Even just 15 to 20 minutes of exposure to morning light can effectively reset your internal circadian rhythm, awaken your brain, and stimulate your body's production of the energy needed to feel good throughout the day. If you're considering an upgrade, here's an even more advantageous alternative. Switch to light-filtering curtains. These types of curtains allow gentle, diffused sunlight to enter the room while still providing adequate privacy. This approach offers the benefits of both restful darkness during sleep and exposure to crucial morning light to energize your start to the day. And let's not overlook the importance of airflow. Make an effort to crack open a window whenever feasible. Utilize a ceiling or portable fan to circulate air, or consider investing in a small air purifier for your bedroom. Remember, fresh air and natural light are among the most potent and freely available boosters for your health and well-being. The fundamental takeaway is this: your bedroom environment should ideally support your body's natural rhythms, not work in opposition to them. When you synchronize your waking with sunlight, breathe clean air, and initiate your day in a natural manner, everything tends to feel better: your mood, your energy levels, and your overall health. I encourage you to try this approach for just a few days. Make a conscious effort to open those curtains first thing in the morning and observe how you feel. I genuinely believe you'll be pleasantly surprised by the noticeable difference it can make. Now, I've intentionally saved this particular point for last because, quite honestly, it represents one of the most challenging habits for nearly everyone to address, regardless of age, whether you're 30 or 70. It seems almost universal these days. We bring our smartphones to bed with us. It's often the final interaction before our head touches the pillow and the very first thing we reach for upon waking. Perhaps you rationalize it by telling yourself, "I'm just quickly checking the news, scrolling through a few photos, or reading a brief article." Before you realize it, an hour might have slipped by, and you find yourself still wide awake. But here's the uncomfortable truth that many prefer not to acknowledge. Your phone is quietly sabotaging your sleep, and the detrimental effects are likely more significant than you realize, especially as we navigate our later years. Allow me to elaborate on why. That seemingly innocuous bright little screen emits a specific type of light known as blue light. This particular wavelength effectively tricks your brain into perceiving it as daylight. And when your brain operates under the assumption that it's still daytime, it initiates a counterproductive action. It significantly curtails the production of melatonin. Melatonin is the essential hormone your body relies upon to naturally relax and initiate the process of falling asleep. Have you ever wondered why you suddenly feel wide awake and alert after scrolling through your phone, even when you felt utterly exhausted just moments before? That's the direct impact of your phone interfering with your natural sleep cycle, keeping your brain stimulated, your body restless, and your mind actively racing. However, the negative influence doesn't cease once you finally manage to drift off. Even during sleep, your phone continues to work against your rest. Those intermittent late-night notifications, the subtle vibrations or audible dings, even the screen intermittently lighting up. All these stimuli have the potential to pull you out of the deeper, more restorative stages of sleep, regardless of whether you consciously register them or not. You see, your brain tends to remain in a state of heightened alertness when your phone is in close proximity, almost as if it's anticipating the next incoming ping or notification. This state of subconscious vigilance is a primary reason why you might wake up the following morning feeling groggy, mentally foggy, and thoroughly exhausted, even if you technically logged 8 hours of sleep time. And let me emphasize this point. As we age, achieving sufficient deep sleep becomes increasingly critical. Deep sleep is the specific phase during which your body performs its most vital healing processes. Your mind clears accumulated mental clutter, and your energy reserves are effectively restored. The stark reality is that your phone habit might be systematically stealing this crucial restorative phase from you, one night at a time. Now, I anticipate what some of you might be thinking, but I use my phone as my alarm clock, or I need to keep it nearby for emergencies. I genuinely understand these concerns. However, the positive news is that there's a relatively straightforward solution. Begin by establishing a habit of keeping your phone physically out of reach during the night. Place it on a dresser across the room, or even better, establish a charging station in another room entirely. Adopting an out-of-sight, out-of-mind approach can provide your brain with a much-needed respite, and believe me, it will be grateful for the break. If you still require an alarm, consider investing in an inexpensive, old-fashioned alarm clock. They serve their purpose effectively without hijacking your sleep patterns in the way smartphones do. If you feel you absolutely must keep your phone in the bedroom, at the very minimum, switch it to airplane mode and turn it face down. This prevents random dings, buzzes, or screen flashes from disrupting your deep sleep cycles. And here's a challenge I propose. Commit to trying this for just 1 week. No phone in bed, no pre-sleep scrolling, and no disruptive notifications at 2 a.m. Instead, rediscover the simple pleasure of reading a physical book, listen to calming music, or perhaps just sit quietly for a few minutes, allowing your mind to naturally wind down, as it was originally designed to do. I assure you, you will likely be astonished by the profound improvement in your sleep quality, the enhanced clarity of your thoughts upon waking, and the noticeable increase in your energy levels the following day. Because here's the essential truth. Sleep is your personal superpower, especially now. It's the fundamental process that facilitates bodily healing, protects cognitive function, and maintains your strength and resilience. Don't allow that small, captivating screen to rob you of this invaluable asset. Make this change and grant yourself the deeply restful sleep you truly deserve. Final thoughts and call to action. Ultimately, your bedroom should function as a dedicated space for healing, not a source of hidden harm. At the close of each day, recognize that your bedroom transcends being merely a place to sleep. It's the environment where your body actively repairs itself, your mind finds respite, and you gather strength for the challenges and joys of the coming day. It deserves to be treated as your personal sanctuary, a peaceful, secure haven that collaborates with your body's needs rather than conflicting with them. The truly encouraging aspect is that you don't need to overhaul everything instantly. Implementing small, manageable changes can yield substantial positive results. To summarize the key points we discussed, start by addressing that old pillow. Replacing it can benefit your neck, skin, and sinuses. Clear out the clutter accumulating under your bed, gifting yourself the advantages of clean, open space and improved air circulation. Transition away from chemical air fresheners and opt for natural alternatives. Your respiratory system merits better treatment. Make it a habit to let natural sunlight into your room each morning, awakening your body in alignment with nature's rhythm. And finally, establish boundaries with your phone by moving it away from your bedside, thereby protecting your invaluable sleep like the treasure it truly is. Taking these straightforward steps possesses the potential to genuinely transform your sleep experience, alter how you feel upon waking, and positively influence your overall health trajectory. Because the fundamental truth remains, you absolutely deserve to wake up each morning feeling rested, clear-headed, and fully prepared to embrace the day ahead. If the information shared today resonated with you, or if you found these tips helpful, please give this video a like to let us know. We encourage you to share your own thoughts, experiences, or any related tips in the comments section below. We love hearing from our community. If you know a friend or loved one who could benefit from creating a healthier bedroom environment, please consider sharing this video with them. And most importantly, don't forget to subscribe to Old Age Wisdom for more content focused on helping you stay healthy, strong, and thriving through every stage of life. Thank you so much for watching today. We look forward to seeing you in the next video.